So we're going to take a look at some ambiguous cases, and this is on page 402 in your textbook. So the ambiguous case, side-side angle, consider a triangle in which A, B, and A are given. So we need to know that the height equals B times sine of A. So you take the height equals B times the sine of A. Okay, so if A is less than H, then there is no triangle possible. Okay, and A is acute. If A is acute and A equals H, then there is one possible triangle. A is acute and A is greater than or equal to B, then there's one possible triangle. If A is acute and A is between H and B, there are two possibilities. If A is obtuse and A is less than or equal to B, then there is no triangle possible, right? You can see that it doesn't work. If A is obtuse and A is greater than B, then there is only one triangle that is possible. So we're going to look at some of these cases. So here's a single solution case, side-side angle, for the triangle shown, A equals 22, B equals 12, and A equals 42 degrees. Find the remaining side and angles. So we have 42 degrees here, and what we can use is we do know, we know A, and then we know a side of B. So we just need to figure out what is this B here. So let's use sine of B over B equals sine of A over A. So we're solving for sine of B. So we're going to use sine of B equals B times sine of A over A. So B is 12 sine of 42 degrees over A, which is 22 inches, and then we solve, so we plug it into our calculator. When you do that, you find that sine of B is approximately 0.3650. So then you use the inverse, right, sine inverse, to find the angle. And then so when you do that, you find that the angle is 21.41 degrees. So B is 21.41 degrees. Okay, so we're trying to find the remaining sides and angles. So we find B, we need to find C. So to find C, you're just going to take 180 minus B minus A. So 180 degrees minus 21.41 degrees minus 42 degrees. You find that C is 116.59 degrees. Okay, then we need to find the other two sides, or we need to find just a single side, C. So we will use C over sine of C equals, I'm going to use A over sine of A. Okay, because those are more exact numbers instead of all the decimals. So we have C, and then sine of C times A over sine of A. So sine of 116.59 degrees times 22 over sine of 42 degrees. And then so we find that C is about 29.40 inches. Okay, so that triangle is all solved. So you try, given A is 31 degrees, A is 12, and B is 5, find the remaining sides, the side and angles of the triangle, and it might be helpful to sketch a picture to kind of help you out. All right, we tried this out. You need to find sine of B because you do know side B. So sine of B over B equals sine of A over A. Then you find that angle B is approximately 12.39 degrees. Then to find angle C, you do 180 minus 12.39 minus 31, and that's approximately 136.61 degrees. Then the last thing to find is side C. So I use C over sine of C equals A over sine of A. Then I found that side C is approximately 16.01 inches. Let's try this no solution case, side-side angle. Show that there is no triangle for which A equals 15, B is 25, and A is 85 degrees. So let's draw a triangle here. So we know angle A is 85 degrees. Then the side opposite it is 15 feet, and then that's A. And then we know B is 25 feet. So in this case, A is less than the height. Right here is the height here. It's probably less than the height here. It's from this thing here, right? So we're looking at that. But let's just do the algebra to figure out, see what happens. So let's say, so if this is B is 25, then this is angle B here. So let's use sine of B over B equals sine of A over A, because we don't know the angle B. So let's solve for that. So sine of B equals B times sine of A over A. So B is 25, sine of A, sine of 85 degrees over 15. And then so we plug it in our calculator, we would get approximately 1.6603 sine of B. Now, what do you think about that when it's greater than 1? So if you remember the sine graph, what is the maximum and minimum of a sine graph? It's 1, right? So if it's greater than 1, when you plug this in your calculator, it's going to say domain error, right? It's outside of the range. It's greater than 1. So whenever you see that this is greater than 1, no triangle is possible. Okay, if you think about so if this is our graph of sine, this is 1 and negative 1, 1.6603 is going to be up here, and so that's never going to hit at least that sine graph, right? So in this case, no triangle is possible. So try this example here. Show that there is no triangle for which A is 4 feet, B is 14 feet, and A is 60 degrees. Okay, if you try this out, you should view sine of B over B equals sine of A over A, and then you solve for sine of B. So sine of B equals B times sine of A over A, and you plug it all in, you would get approximately 3.03, which is definitely greater than 1, so no triangle is possible.